Hello everybody, good afternoon. Thank you for attending this, let's call it the lunch session, as it's just 12 o'clock. I see still people joining, but I would say that we can already start as we only have 20-25 minutes-ish. Maybe first things first, small introduction. Peter, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe a short introduction from yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Peter, I work for Juvah. It's a company specialized in installation of ventilation systems. I have 6-7 years of background in the consulting. We were former colleagues at Deloitte, but then I joined Juvah as a representative of West Flanders, so a small, so one region for Juvah who is nationally spread. And I'm responsible also for the technology part and everything about IT and the digitalization.
All right, it's already a whole lot. My name is Koen, 13 years at Deloitte, senior manager. Always been working for private families, private family-owned families and scale-ups, doing digital transformations with various technologies. Maybe a bit more about Juvah itself. So we've got Juvah, we've got Borix.
Yes.
Can you explain a bit what the structure is, how Juvah existed,
Yes.
when Borix actually was founded?
Juvah was founded in 2010 but was operational at 2012. It started from one person, Jeroen van Hasselt, that's why the name Juvah. Right now we went from one person to 85 colleagues. I think half on at the offices and half at on the job.
Okay.
We do over 2,000 units a year, and Borix started this year, which is a sister company of ours who joined the group and is specialized in drilling everything in concrete. Especially if you need a hole or a hole in your concrete, you can call Borix and we can fix it for you.
Okay, so you're really in the real estate and the construction,
Yes,
and the
yes,
construction industry. All right. There are growth ambitions as well, I heard.
Yeah, of course. With Juvah, we want to multiply and triple over the next 5 to 10 years. And Borix even faster. We want to be the biggest drilling company in Belgium, and I think for that we have. The long term is within 2 years for us to grow very fast.
Okay, so if you're saying grow it then in terms of turnover, we say we go from 15 to 30 million-ish with the Juvah company. Yeah. Of course, Borix just founded this year, so hopefully if you want to take the market, it will go as well as fast as it
correct
as you envisioned. Maybe let's take a look a bit at the journey, because I heard Juvah it's actually as well a rather young company. But already doing some good turnovers. Within 2018 it started a bit the journey.
Yes.
And there were already certain decisions taken there within the company.
Yeah. In 2018, we can say it like three separate companies who merged together under the name of Juvah and not much more the franchise, but they merged together and they are even shareholders right now. But of course they were different platforms, there were Excel sheets, everyone had their own ERP solution. So then it was chosen to go for Odoo, the version 11.
Okay. How did that go?
It was completely custom for Juvah. And we had one person who did all the customizations, so we were really dependent on that person.
Okay.
So there was one time it happened that he broke his hand. We had to do some modification, and we were stuck. We couldn't do anything.
You're a bit locked in to proceed. The business wants to go further, but the platforms in house were not there yet.
Yes, we also had some struggles with performance due to the customization. There were certain issues. We also were questioning the reporting if it was all correctly.
Yep.
So we didn't have a lot of confidence in the system.
That's 8 years ago as well, so it's...
Yeah, exactly. Then in 2020 the decision from the management came to go for a new platform, and Business Central was chosen back then.
Probably as well to drive a bit that growth?
Yeah. It was part of the bigger picture to grow. And we needed a new solution for that. We went live in 2020 in different steps first. There was accounting, then sales, and then the projects. But now we're also struggling a little bit with the customization of the platform. Our partner made a lot of customizations for us, which we were first very happy with, but right now
You see the downside of doing heavy
yeah,
customization.
because with every update that comes from Microsoft, we're lacking performance, we're having some issues.
It's a funny thing as well, if I can mention a bit. If you look at what happened in 2018, we are at a certain platform, and we did heavy customization, and we're like, we need to check for another platform. We want to scale up. Let's see what's in the market.
If you would look at our contract we're having with a partner, it also said we need a standard platform.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not the experts, so we thought we had a platform that was standard, but now we see that you have a standard platform, but there is like a peel all over it for us.
Heavy customization as well.
And that's the part we're struggling right now.
So it was the second time actually that there was a transformation being done, but still a bit stuck in. Yeah, you know what, we really need that, so we take the additional customization instead of really looking at maybe we need to change other things as well. Okay.
And that's why the reason 2014 with the new entity BoRX we chose not to go with Business Central, because it's also a really huge
I remember that conversation as well, because we are a bit buddies as well, so we see each other sometimes in the private area as well. And you were talking about the plans that we had, that you had with BoRX, and the fact of, we need to have a platform in place to put it into a certain system, but we are still thinking about, do we need to go for Business Central, because at the moment you weren't that satisfied of it. And I still remember I said, maybe you need to look into Odoo.
Yeah, and then I said, no way Odoo, because we had lots of good experiences
already with it.
And then Koen told me, no, Odoo has changed a lot. And what you were talking about, that was not Odoo, that was just a custom application built on Odoo. Yeah. So then after a few meetings, after one meeting at Deloitte, it was quite simple that Odoo would do it for us. It was it had a lot of advantages. So I think we started in May our journey to implement Odoo for BoRX.
Yeah, indeed. Now, when you look at then the fact of, that's a bit a classical way if you're in a digital transformation journey of you want to transform. And typically if you look at it from a client perspective, you have the left side. We call that the platform needs, where a client is looking towards, you know what, we need to have a new platform to support our growth, to support our processes. But the ways in, or I'll dare to say, actually the same way-ins as every client normally has, as every startup has. Can you elaborate a bit on the left-hand side of you as a client, how you are looking into that, you a bit as a CTO as well, how you're looking into things?
Yeah, for me it's very important that the colleagues could use the platform directly, so they don't need a technical training. That's why it has to be intuitive. The colleagues are not technically skilled.
So it's a bit on the change management, we want to minimize the impact on change. Yeah.
They were 20 years that they just went to every construction site to drill. Yeah. So that's not the expert in IT.
We are not talking about desk people.
No. So the easy onboarding as well of new entities, because we're planning to grow and maybe and take other entities into a group. So that would be a good case if it fit well for BoRX. Why not for every other company?
So it's a flexible, scalable platform.
Yeah. Okay. As you say, it has to scale, because now we're just with, I think, 5 licenses, which is perfect for us. Yeah. That's why the cost is low. But if we want to go to 70, we also have the possibility to do it with Odoo.
Indeed, yeah.
Furthermore, easy to customize, not technical customization within code or Python or whatever, but for us, if we want to add a field on, for example, a customer type, I want to do it myself. I don't need to go to the partner. Hey, can you please add that field? But I want that field to be that I can create it myself, and also has to be accessible if you want to do reporting afterwards.
Yeah, I think that's a classical indeed. If you look at really towards the startups, it's more of a do-it-yourself as well sometimes. Yes. Just give us the best practices, just give us the core that we need, and for the rest, we will maintain it on our own a bit. And for the big chunks, you will reach out, but for the small parts, we want to do it hands-on, and we want to be able to do that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then the last one, easy to use, yeah, that's what we already mentioned, and quickly onboard new people. It's also very important. If you just go to the platform, start with the tiles, it's for everyone. Yeah, you find it directly. So for that, we're happy so far.
Maybe last thing, the cost effectiveness as well of a platform. Maybe that it can grow with you as well, not only on user base but also on the scalability of the platform. Without impacting a lot of OPEX costs is maybe also an interesting part of it.
Yes, can confirm that.
So that's a bit the platform side, and there will be multiple platforms there that probably will be in a certain range. But if you then look at the partner landscape, and if you look at the partners, what are the critical aspects if you say, okay, I want to partner up with a partner, those are the things that I'm looking for.
First of all, what's very important for us is a partner who sees the implementation in the bigger picture over years. So it's not just that I say, hey Koen, we want Odoo.
Can you tell the story maybe when we first met in the Ghent office? You guys brought something.
Yeah. We had an idea, and we heard it often a few times, no. But for us it's very good because we don't want a partner who says, okay, we're here to technical implement a solution. No, we're here, your business partner, we want to think about you in the long way. How can we help to reach the goal? Depending if it's Odoo or something else, we want to help you to get to the point that you have to go to eventually.
Maybe a concrete example there, if I can add, was the fact and that's a bit the classical way that we see as well, is you have a huge list. We sometimes call that the Sinterklaas list in Dutch. The fact that there's a lot of requirements and the business has a lot of requirements. But the question is, do you need it right now and why do you need it? And that's indeed why we already said in the first meeting a lot of times no. It's not because we don't want to do it, but it's because of, are you ready to do it and do you need to do it now as well?
Yes.
I believe as well there were other things as well, because you came in for the fact of we need to have a platform and we need to have, of course, our quote to cash process, our quote to cash stream needs to be there. We said, okay, why don't you look into Odoo? Interesting, indeed. It's a new company, so you need to have the marketing as well there.
Yeah, for example, the website we were building, we had an offer for a website, which was really huge, but we thought, okay, let's do it, let's create a website. But then Dilo told me, why not just do the website and Odoo, and then you have like all the orders, it flows, it has the flow, it goes into the system. Then it was, okay, that's interesting. It doesn't have any engine for them, so they had like income, but they thought for us, okay, what's the best for BorX at that time?
I think that's how we call it at Deloitte. It's maybe more technical or consulting term, but we try to be the trusted advisor towards our clients. Which means as well saying, okay, have you thought about this or have you thought about that? And the platform can help you, and you can phase that out or you can do that. And it's saying no, but it's also bringing new ideas, bringing new suggestions of, why don't you do it? Why don't you look at it like that?
Yeah, true. Another example, we had a lot of modifications that we want to do at the system, but then Deloitte also said, no, we're not going to modify the system to BorX, we're going to modify BorX to the system because you're a startup. Right now, if you just learn how it works right now, you can grow with that and everything will work and it will be cost effective, the best solution.
I think that's a classical example as well of the fact that we always want to go fit to standard, and the client wants that as well. Just do the standard. And then when you go into the conversation, it is, but we need that and we need that. Okay, you want to go for standard or you want to go for... And that's the balance that you need to find as well. And I believe as well, for sure, if you're in a startup, that we need to push you towards the standards. Because you're still in a startup and the business processes are not quite known yet. High level they are known, but in detail you're still evolving. New ideas will come up, maybe new businesses will also, or new business streams will come up. So that's why it's important to just start with the basic layer, and indeed to advise you that on the fact of, no, sorry, we will not do that. Simple as that. I think that sums a bit up as well, being the challenger.
Yes,
I think as well, transparency on scope. Why are we saying no towards that? And we're not just saying no, but really why? Transparency on the classic ways as well. If you do any project, is for sure the budget and the timing and blah blah blah. And those are the classic ways.
And for that challenge, like we had the Excel with all the questions in front. so that we also could prioritize everything for us. What can we do right now in the first sprint, in the first phase? What do we do next year? What do we do it in 3 years?
Yeah.
That was very good for us as well to make sure, okay, we're just going to go standard, really small, because right now that's enough for us, and we can also see what we can do on the long way.
Indeed. Maybe a bit on the IT architecture as well. It's a interesting way as well to look at the company and how the company is situated on the platform architecture. Currently, this is your landscape, correct?
Yeah, so Juvah does everything within Business Central, Borix does everything within Odoo. Reporting, we're using Power BI all over, but it's completely separate.
Yeah.
We're also looking at some Odoo reporting, which is starting up right now. I think in the first quarter of next year it will be extended.
Okay.
We have a learning academy on Raku. Documents is classic SharePoint, and the communication is by Teams and Outlook. I think
so we see a bit of a classical Microsoft landscape a bit. With as well some niche related to the learning academy. And then of course Borix, where we just set up, and that we are actually already using quite a lot of apps within the Odoo landscape, just to ensure that you guys are...
like the planning will start, I think this year with the service app.
All right.
So the guys on the job can see their jobs they have to do. They can add jobs if they have to do something extra. So yeah, I think we're starting to use the whole platform of Odoo.
Well, it's cool to see that's even for a startup, we can really support the full lead to cash cycle in an Odoo. Where we start from the website, we have the contacting, we have the leads, we have the quoting. The sales team can do the quoting. Once the quote is accepted, well, the project team can start planning. We've got the field service; they can sign off on the work orders, even if there's additional work on site, which for sure happens. So we had that discussion.
A lot.
You wanted to have a very broad, extensive solution for that, but with some tips and tricks, we also managed to do that in very low, but it will still be able to do the needs that you have at the moment. And then we have the full project cycle, so that's nice. And from accounting perspective, for sure we have the invoicing and the accounting itself, and everything from purchase side as well. Now, this is a cool evolution. Let's say when you look at 2030, the company is growing, double digit for Juvah. Borix probably will grow as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in 2 systems. You will have some intercompany activities as well, I believe, in the future, or maybe now even. If you look at the potential, is that the landscape that you say, you know what, for sure we're going to take that into consideration?
Definitely, this is certainly a possibility. We're not married with any platform.
Okay.
Right now, I must say, we just started and we started small with Odoo, but the first, the connection is definitely there with Odoo and with Deloitte, who helps as a partner.
There is potential.
Yes, especially because the other partner for Juvah and Business Central is more like the technical consultant, and that's why we see we're starting to struggle.
Okay.
If perhaps they would be another partner, that would be a whole different story. But right now, I don't think within 2030 we'll still be on the Microsoft platform.
Okay. Well, I think from the accounting side as well, if you look at what V18 is bringing on the accounting part, it will for sure help as well there to really look at the financial numbers in an easier way. Maybe there a bit as well. If you look at the evolution, and we say we take it into consideration to go into the maybe more Odoo all the way and the phase out of the other platform. Are these key aspects that you say, me as a buyer, me as a customer, this is how I look at things?
Yes, if we just quickly do the wheel, we now have again a partner lock, which we were like allergic to after Odoo 11.
I think if you're doing heavy customization, then maybe that's sometimes the consequence that you can have.
Yeah, but we didn't know we had that. That's the main issue. So no partner lock and no custom code. No intervention of our partner if we want to do a small change, which is right now the case. And Odoo, we have Odoo Studio. We want to have like a light version as well for that would be for me and some colleagues who have some technical skills, that we can make some changes in layouting or such easy ourselves, and data has to be easy accessible. If we want to do some reporting, we want to be boss of our own data, we want to be able to connect to every table, every data cell, everything we have has to be accessible by ourselves.
You don't have it at the moment.
We have the APIs, but if we want to modify something, then our partner has to create a new API or change the API.
Yeah, okay.
Which is like everything except cost effective.
Yeah, indeed. So maybe to wrap up a bit, if you would, there's an audience here, if you would explain to them what a trusted advisor is according to you in the different steps, in the different journey of your of a company. What would that mean?
I see you define 3 steps here. So at startup, that's quite simple. As you already said, that sometimes they say no, but they also look, okay, we start right now, but where do we have to go within 2, 3, 5, 10 years, so that we start correctly to maintain the vision within 10 years. During the implementation, we had a lot of conversation, a lot of feedback moments to adjust the scope where we need, because we were on the flow, we see new things, and especially on the long term that we keep looking within the future, how can Odoo support us, and what do we need to do right now to make sure that we get our targets and our goals within 5 to 10 years.
No, I think it's thinking with the company, seeing what are the priorities now, what are the critical elements that you need to pick up now, and that other things can follow for sure. Have you thought about other things as well that maybe are not on your agenda, but maybe on CFO's agenda and so forth, that is also important, and that have an impact on the platform itself, and on the way it's constructed.
This is like trusted advisor, really a marketing term, but I must say, to my experience, it really is true that you advise this and you often say no, because I think if you would have followed us, you would have make the offer really huge, and would that be for you very good, but you know what's important for us, so that's why we will come back to in the future and do a lot of work together.
All right, maybe one last, what does it mean to have a challenging partner on board? Is it different than a trusted advisor, or is it the same? Or
yes, it's not just yes and no, but it's also asking questions. So we can reflect to ourselves, oh, okay, we didn't thought about that. Maybe, that's good. So we really were challenging us from, is that what you really want, or what you think that you want? And that's a big difference.
All right. Thank you for being here, for having this conversation. If there are questions, you can scan the QR code, and I hope that there will be some interesting questions that we can answer. Maybe I can check.
Okay, so thank you a lot for the presentation. I think we'll give you a few seconds to continue typing your questions, and then we'll go straight into them. I can see there are some already. Okay. So I'll go to the first one. So someone is asking here, you said in the past you didn't trust Odoo reporting. I assume related to accounting. How is that now?
It was not an accounting, but it was for sales reporting. Due to the customization, we had the feeling that sometimes some offers were 2 times marked as sold, so that like our target wasn't correct.
Okay. Nice. So right now that issue is resolved?
Yeah, right now we're pretty sure that it's 100%
the
correct.
numbers match.
Nice. Okay, so to another one. So what did you do with the customizations in I think MSB?
And Business Central probably is. Yeah.
Did you use Odoo out of the box, or how did you go about the customization?
Odoo is right now out of the box. I think the modification we did was just some invoice layouting we had to do. But we're in Business Central, it is especially code, we had add-ins that were created for us with all the problems with that. If we have an update, we often get some add-ins that are completely offline due to the customizations.
Okay, all right. I think this is also for you. So what would be the most struggling point from moving from Business Central to Odoo about accounting? I think anyone can handle that.
The most challenging point.
Moving from Business Central to Odoo.
I think in overall, if you're moving from one accounting platform to the other, we mainly advise to don't go for the transactions level. So ensure that you are ready and that you on a monthly close you can upload it, but not that you upload historical transactions. That's the most difficult part because you will set up your accounting as well differently, and then if you need to match your transaction, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a mess. So it's then better to do it mono. So that's the advice.
I think on the client side, it will be the change management of the colleagues to use a new platform and to make a different way of working, because we are going to work standard out of the box and not, I want to work like that, and that they change it, the platform to the way of working.
I think there has a plus side as well if you look at the fact that the accountant is doing the same tasks in Business Central and in Odoo now. Yeah, we didn't need to teach the accountant something. We just sat together for 2 hours and bam, she was there. And she was, okay, no, I will find my way. Stop. Sure. But that's from a functional point of view of usability, and then of course you've got your technical if you want to migrate.
Sure. So just to add on to what you said, this actually also aligns to the Odoo's Quick Start methodology.
Okay.
Where we focus on the priorities, we go straight into importing the balances, and then everything else comes later. Because if you look at it, it's actually not value added. That's nice.
It's good that we align.
True. I think we can have one more or two more questions. Let me just go through them. So do you have other best practices for switching between accounting softwares? I think such as cleaning of chart of accounts, how to handle inventory valuation. Any advice on that?
We have indeed a standard framework that we are using. So I would say come up to our booth otherwise if you want to have more information on that, but indeed we are using certain templates and certain guidelines that as of work session 1 we're really going to start, and it mainly starts as well indeed with your chart of accounts, because sometimes you see challenging chart of accounts, let's say it like that, can use some simplification.
Sure. Yeah, the good thing with Odoo, again, as you said, is we have templates that can guide you on how to go about the importations and the transition from one system to another. Nice. And another one, did Deloitte play a role in changing your mind to return to Odoo?
Change
your mind, like how did Deloitte impact you to move into Odoo?
Especially they challenged us with the questions to make sure that we didn't go into, okay, we're working right now, that's the way of working, we're going to keep on that. No, they challenged us, okay, but why are you working like that, and where do you really want to go within 5 years, and how can Odoo help you with that?
Okay. Anything to add on to that?
No, I would say as well, it came from the fact of, I said, Peter, you need to look at it. And he said, we had some experience and we weren't that positive. I said, we need to look at it again. Yeah. And then he said, okay, it's okay. So it's also from a relationship a bit. You trust me, you trust a bit, okay, I'll give you my time, and let's have a look at it. I think that's important as well.
Thank you, Tim, for your time and for your insights. I think we'll leave it there. In case of anything, I believe you'll be around to address them.
Thank you. If there are other questions, you can always drop by our booth, and then we can for sure answer your questions. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you.